we're going camping.
I've got my ATV all loaded up with my camping gear.
Let's roll out of this joint.
And I'm headed out into the backcountry for my first camping trip of the spring. I'm super excited because I've got 3 brand new pieces of gear to put to the test. I'll find out if this new gear is going to pass the Lone Crow field test. Is my new gear going to be an amazing camping discovery, or will it fail miserably? There's only one way to find out.
Yeah, lots of nice sun right there. I've scouted it out. I've got lots of down wood over here. I brought my saw and my hatchet so I can definitely get some firewood. So I think this is a good spot. What's going on? It's Samantha from Lone Crow Adventures, the channel where we talk about all things camping, hiking, and backpacking. Tonight, I'm going to be testing out a new Big 3. So what's the Big 3? A new tent, a new sleeping bag, and a new sleeping pad. I want to make sure that before I recommend any gear to you guys that I have thoroughly used it in actual real-world scenarios. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. The gear that we're going to be testing is car camping gear. With that being said, you can see I am in the backcountry with this because I've got all my gear loaded up here onto my ATV. So we're gonna have some wild camping tonight. So what's the Big 3 that's being tested out? Let's start with the sleeping pad. This is the Klymit Klymaloft XL. This is a really plush, pretty compact, luxurious sleeping pad. This sleeping pad has an R value of 2.1, and I'm a little worried about that because it's going down to about 35 degrees tonight, and an R value 2.1 sleeping bag is just not going to cut it in those temperatures. What I have done is that I've brought this guy. This is the Thermarest Z-Rest, I believe it's called, or Z-Lite, and it is a closed cell foam pad. So this is going to increase the overall R value of the sleep system up to levels where I should be pretty comfortable if it drops down to 35 degrees. The tent that I have to test out is a brand new tent. It's made by Nature Hike. It is a 4-person dome tent. It's the P Series 4-person dome tent by Nature Hike. So it's going to be interesting to see how this tent kind of holds up. It's a 3-season tent, so it should have lots of nice ventilation. I think I'm going to be okay. The other star of the show is this guy here. This is the Unigear Campfy Trail. So this is a 30-degree sleeping bag is what it's advertised at. But if you look here, you'll notice the comfort limit on this sleeping bag is 33.8 degrees Fahrenheit or 1 degree Celsius. And like I said, it's going down to 35 degrees tonight. So this bag is going to be pushed to its comfort limit. So I'll see if I get cold in this. This will be a really good test of this sleeping bag. If I do get cold, I have a contingency plan. Never go into the backcountry with gear that you're not sure if you're going to potentially put yourself in not necessarily a dangerous situation, but an uncomfortable situation, right? I probably wouldn't die from hypothermia on this because you can see the extreme. This is the temperature it will keep you alive. Is rated to -7 Fahrenheit, which I'd kind of like to see that. But I don't want to be uncomfortable, so I have a contingency plan just in case I am, and that is using this. This is a piece of gear that I have used many times over the years. This is the Sea to Summit Thermalite Reactor, and it is a sleeping bag liner, and it goes right on the inside of your mummy bag, and this one's actually cut to fit a mummy bag, and it can offer you an extra 15 degrees Fahrenheit of warmth. So if you have a sleeping bag that you're not sure if it's going to be quite warm enough for the conditions that you're heading out in, getting yourself a little sleeping bag liner could be a great option instead of having to buy a whole new sleeping bag to meet those conditions. It can be a little bit more budget conscientious way to do things. So this is the Nature Hike P Series 4-person tent. I am unveiling this for the very first time. I haven't even opened this. In fact, you see I still have the tag on it. So it's kind of risky taking something you've never laid eyes on into the backcountry to spend a night in. But I guess that's how you find out if this gear is gonna work for you guys. Because a lot of you guys might buy something and not use it until you get to camping. So I'm here to find out if this gear is any good, so that way you don't have to learn the hard way. Well, one of the things that I like already about this is that it has a little clasp here to keep everything nice and organized. Now this may seem like a small detail, but honestly, I have reviewed a lot of tents. I have a lot of companies send me gear and say, oh, put this on your channel. And then when it gets to my house and I look at it, I think, my God, this thing is such a flaming pile. I'm not going to put it on the channel. Or sometimes it's so bad that I do put it on the channel and I tell everyone why it's so bad. But this little small detail right here is actually a sign that the company may have made a pretty decent product here. They may have paid some attention to craftsmanship. So we'll see. We'll unwrap it and find out. Oh, it's a nice little decent sized tent. We got some nice aluminum tent poles. That's nice. Nobody likes a tent with fiberglass poles. You know who likes fiberglass poles? Walmart. Walmart loves fiberglass poles. Coleman loves fiberglass poles. I don't like fiberglass poles. I find that they are heavier and not as strong. Well, next up, got to get the bed set up, so I'll show that to you guys next. Okay, so you can see you got a nice water-resistant layer there. And then on the bottom, you have another, I'm going to call this a stain-resistant area, because you have gross feet when you're camping, right? Doesn't matter, even if you're not hiking. Like, I know my feet are probably really gross. They probably smell bad. I've been working outside all day. I probably have some sand and dirt and whatnot that's got in my shoes, and you don't want that getting on your sleeping pad, so that's a nice thought. And if you look real close, I don't know if you can tell here, but it's actually got like a memory foam top to it, and then it's an air pad. The Klymit also does make a pump. I went ahead and bought it, and this little pump, it's got a couple attachments. And it has a little rubber attachment on it that'll fit basically any Klymit product. But I went ahead and I bought this because I really, really hate blowing up pads. In you go. Now, I want to give this gear the truest test I can. So I think I'm actually going to hold off on the Thermarest Zeolite mat under the Klymit mat. Stick it under there if I happen to get cold. I know it's always harder to warm up after you get cold, but I feel like it'd be a better test of both the sleeping bag and the sleeping pad. So this is a new sleeping bag. This is a Unigear product. It is the Campfy Trail, and this is designed to be a backpacking sleeping bag. It feels pretty heavy. You know, for a budget option, it wouldn't be bad. It does have a synthetic fill, so it's not going to compress the same way that a down sleeping bag will. But if you're worried that your gear is going to get wet, having a synthetic fill might be something that you're interested in. It is a mummy-shaped bag. And one of the things I like about it right off the hop is that it comes with this mesh bag. And what this is designed for is for you to hang the sleeping bag in this bag that offers less compression than the level of compression in the compression sack. So this way the synthetic fill doesn't become compressed over time and lose its loft. When I go backpacking, I actually prefer to use a quilt. So I can guarantee you I won't use this when I'm backpacking because it's too heavy for me. I have a quilt that weighs about 19 ounces and I love it. But this is a decent option, especially for the kind of camping that I'm doing here. It's got nice sized little foot box. It's got some hanging loops on it. I really like the color. It's got a cute little hood. All right. I love that the inside is orange. That way if you drop something in there, it's super easy for you to find, your phone or whatever it is you're looking for if you drop it in there in the middle of the night. And it does have a draft, what's this called? Draft baffle that goes against the zipper here. And that's to keep any air from coming through the zipper. It's a pretty decent draft baffle, actually. I've had a lot draft baffles on sleeping bags where they trap you in the middle of the night. You need to get out to go pee and that stupid zipper is stuck in there and you can't get out and you're freaking out. I hate that, which is one of the reasons I switched over to using a quilt. I like the quilt so much better. But for cold temperatures in the winter, I still will use a mummy bag. I have a 0-degree mummy bag that I love very much for winter camping. So we'll see how we're gonna pan out with this one. Now what goodies could possibly be in this bag? Oh, there they are. Oh, it smells like camping. Oh, this is a portable fire pit. And then the whole thing sits in this little stainless steel pan. Oh, now we need to get some firewood. There we go. I'm gonna get down here and I'm gonna take some of this birch bark. This stuff is soft. Look at this. Oh yeah, this is cherry. It's super hardwood, nice and dry. Ooh. Ooh. Love that thing. Brought a lot of nice fresh veggies. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my asparagus ready. And I couldn't decide what I wanted to do with the asparagus, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and boil it just for simplicity. So with asparagus, you want to find the part where the blade goes through nice and easy without any effort. That's the part that you're going to put in the pot. Because if you see, this part doesn't want to go through, but if I move it up just a little bit, the blade sinks right in. Now, what's for dinner, you might ask? Well, my father-in-law Dave pointed out that every time that he watches one of these camping videos or bushcraft videos or whatever, because he's into that stuff too, that these guys go out in the bush and they always cook this big fat steak. So I am not going to do that. I am going to go against the grain. I thought about it. I had a really nice New York strip at home. I'll just have to put it on a regular old barbecue. So instead, I decided to get a nice, oh yeah, baby, teriyaki chicken breast. You know why nobody deals with chicken in the backcountry? Because they're afraid of salmonella. But, woo! You carry hand sanitizer and some antibacterial wipes, you can cook chicken safely. Just gotta be careful when you first put the chicken on the grill. Just like the grill at home. You can't let it stick to the tines or else you'll be in trouble. So you gotta do the chicken dance with the chicken for a minute or two. Put my lights on. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Look at that. Isn't that juicy and wonderful? Oh, that one's too small for the grill. Just a nice slow roast. Yummy. The world's tiniest salt and pepper shaker.
Did you bring a blanket so that the viewers wouldn't have to see my pajamas?
Well, no.
Was that really what this is about?
I brought the blanket because I thought maybe you'd be cold in your pajamas. That was the primary thing.
I thought you didn't want to put it on the video.
But then I also thought that perhaps you would not want the viewers to see your pajamas, which I think are Pittsburgh Steelers pajamas.
That's true.
Would that be accurate? Mm-hmm. You know, that's a really controversial thing here in Wisconsin. So, what I'm wearing right now, I have my underlayers on. And then I have a pair of fleece pajama bottoms. And I have this polar fleece hoodie. I have my toque or my beanie. And that's it. That's all I'm wearing. So the 30-degree bag seems to be cutting it. At least for now. It's about 40 degrees right now. We'll see as the temperature drops here. About another 5 degrees overnight. See how we... Well, it's about 10 to 6. The sleeping pad actually did a great job. I did not feel any source of cold or anything underneath of me coming from, from up from the ground. I felt really, really warm there. And the sleeping pad was actually really comfortable. I was surprised. But the only thing that I found a little bit annoying was the surface of the sleeping pad. It seems a little slippery. So I kept feeling, like I was sliding around. Not really sliding off of it. More so just kind of sliding down. And that's probably because I'm on a little bit of a hill here too. So that was a little bit strange. Oh, sorry guys, I'm trying to wake up. But overall, I really honestly thought with the 2.1 R value and the 31 or 33 Fahrenheit comfort rating of this sleeping bag, I really thought I was going to have a miserable night's sleep. And it turns out I actually slept really well. So I can say that Klymit makes a great sleeping pad. I would totally use this again. And Unigear makes a great mummy sleeping bag. This thing was really, really comfortable, and it's really soft too. That's one of the things here. I don't know what this material is, this orange stuff. I know this is like a, polyester on the outside here, but this here almost feels like, I don't know if it's a taffeta or if it's probably a pongee. A woven pongee, which is another synthetic material. But anyway, it feels really nice, like against your skin and stuff. It feels really good. So I'm pretty impressed with the sleeping bag. It'll be making more appearances on the channel, I'm sure. I like both these things. So you can see the tent did a pretty good job. No condensation, which was the biggest thing I was worried about with the cold temperatures. This mesh did a nice job keeping it away. Not seeing any residual transfer of moisture from the outer wall to the inside, so that's great. You can see it was cold last night. Got a little bit of frost. Yep. A little bit of frost. It's time to break out some breakfast. Unlike a lot of other meats, you don't have to worry about bacon spoiling as much. It's got so much salt in it and it's been cured. Same thing with ham. Ham's another good one. If you're going for a little overnighter, unless it's super, super hot, you don't really need to keep it in the fridge. Besides, it got pretty cold last night, so the whole outside was my refrigerator. Probably colder than my fridge at home. I am so grateful for this delicious breakfast. This glorious day. The sun shining down. It's a great morning. Well, got the gear all hunkered down on the machine. It's time to go back home. If you guys want to check out some more wild camping adventures, I want you to click right over here, and I'll see you guys over on that video. It's been super fun hanging out,